What's up? This one's going to be about former Chicago Bear Hall of Famer Brian Urlacher, who's a big time bigot. I heard what he said about Jacob Blake and about the whole thing, and he tried to make a comment about the NBA players when they protested, and then he tried to talk about Brett Favre, how he played through with his father passing and so on forth. Brian Urlacher is trying his best Mike Dick impersonation, but he sounds like a racist, bigot idiot. But to see, this is what happens when them Trump supporters and white boys feel comfortable, say what they want to say, pop off, no repercussions, not directly. But a lot of the former teammates are distancing themselves from him, including the Bears organization. Let me tell you something about Urlacher and a lot of his types. And I say that, and I mean it just like that. This world is changing. And sad to say, to George Floyd getting his neck stomped on, Breonna Taylor being murdered and lynched. But it's changing. When you see corporate, even though there's a lot of fakery going on, but there actually a lot things are being done. It's happening. You know what will happen if you're comfortable in your white privilege and things change, and then you're really in a situation where you just didn't see it coming, and suddenly people aren't just being quiet anymore, because silence is more deadly, and it means a blank mind. A silent mind is a blank mind. Brian Urlacher did great on the football field with the Chicago Bears, but his mouth and what comes out of it leaves a lot to be desired. He's not alone, and you were allowed to be white privileged and be ignorant. When you turn on TV now, though, imagine that people would actually not only say things, but do things that reflect enough is enough. And white players play with black athletes, but they act like they don't see them as humans, which they don't. It's the do the right thing syndrome with Pino and Mookie. You're black, but you're not really black because you're a special talent. See, that's what it says. It says that we look at beyond you. We don't see you as a human. We look through you because you're a talent. But when I go back out here in this world, I want to be entertained by you, but I don't want to know you. So when he makes his loaded remarks, he ain't stuttering. He said what he meant. And that's the sad part, that he is not seeing what's happening in 2020. And there's a lot of them like that. They not seeing it. See? And that's why you don't need tap dancing black folks to walk around and condemn what should be a discussion, but also should be a step towards the right direction, and not clinging to Jim Crowism and a past not so long ago separatism, but also when murder and lynching or attempted is there in your eye. Because regardless about Jacob Blake's situation, no one deserves to get shot 7 times in their back, not by 3 officers. There is no way that you can justify that with sanity, unless of course you look through the lens of white privilege. And to question why players and people would be offended and take a stance against it, like it don't impact you, like they couldn't be you, just shows how more delusional Brian Urlacher is in white privilege, while he sits in his lazy boy looking in disgust and disbelief. Because could he imagine that if that was him and what would happen, and he had to answer to something? And see, the truth is, as white privilege in America hasn't had to answer to anybody except for this coronavirus. First time, 2020, the eyes are open. But what else is open? Give me your thoughts and your takes about Brian Urlacher. He's a big-time bigot. He was a great player, big-time bigot. Hit the like, subscribe, and the bell rings. New video. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for one another. And when time has a way of moving, are you going to wake up to what's happening, or are you going to get left behind and settle for, where's my privilege?